Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor Scholars. Hello. Today we have an interesting video for your faces. We're starting 2026 with some Warframe. I don't know what time, like this week or whenever this video is going to come out, but we're going to be talking about it. It's an interesting topic because I've not seen a lot, I wouldn't know if you call this drama, but funny interactions with Warframe. And so that's what we're going to jump. We're going to get right into a very short intro. I know, you got your Peter Griffin. There you go. Minimal effort intro. Sorry. But we got this tweet that caught my attention, and the interaction down below is, I think it's kind of funny. Okay, well, not what I wanted. So we have from Marcus, what super soldier do you think could beat a space marine? Now, I don't know much about 40K outside of that. These guys are total badasses and they're the pinnacle of manliness. Even Henry Cavill loves 40K. And he's probably the most manliest of mans out there. Superman, Witcher. You can't get more manly than that. So we have Bull Esaurus that posted the Tenno from Warframe. And it started an interaction. The Warframe would get folded. The asterisk watching how the chapter master is sending flying to orbit after Alice punched him. This is, again, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go through this wormhole, per se. So let's look at what we have to say. The Warframe, can an Astra tank or negative something damage though? Looks here, the things we aren't doing game mechanic like that causes that just fucking goofy. What? Trust me, mate. Astra tank stands way more chance if you go by the game mechanics. Otherwise, lore accurate Grendel can devour all of creation in the entire universe itself. Well, that's too bad for you because game mechanics were the only chance of an Astra performing well in this fight. If we don't do game mechanics, then a fight is so heavily biased in favor of Warframes that it stops being funny. Nah, it's been confirmed that the mods in Warframe all exist in universe. The builds where you just walk around in a room and everything dies are in fact canon. What can we do in game with those numbers is weaker than what Warframe can do in lore. Tahoe and the Final Fantasy fan complaining about game mechanics. LOL. No trust. Everyone you want, the goofy mechanics. The lore is way more ridiculous than the game mechanics. Somehow Wisp opens portals to the sun so she can send the Emperor inside the core of a sun and insta-kill him. The mods are canon, and even without them, Warframes do things like create antimatter, rip holes in reality, summon miniature stars, open a portal to the sun and use it as a weapon, stomp the ground so hard it freezes time, consume entire worlds in their unending maw. Warframes are significantly weaker in-game when they are in lore. Mods are canon. Girl, the lore feats are even insane than the game mechanics. Do you even want to try? The lore feats are even worse than the in-game feats. Man, don't bring them into this. You're generally safer using in-game feats. Game mechanic was holding Warframe from wiping out the whole planetary system. Okay, Goss ripped the atmosphere of a planet by running that fast. There you go. I'm gonna need the source for that one, gang, because I think I missed a page. Goss Livery basically goes in detail how, honestly, the variant alone has upscaled these things from being Spartan 2 levels of dangerous to a scale so high they have a solid chance in fucking against Dragon Ball characters. I need that in my death. I need that in Death Battle. Death Battle, Goku versus Tenno. Rhino Stomp. Rhino Stomp's a force sufficient to disrupt time, tumbling enemies around him in stasis. Atlas literally punched an asteroid to dust by himself with one punch. This is some good shit. Doomslayer wins every time. Oh, true. I love this. Dude, I don't even know all the lore but this seems fucking funny. Yeah, after Atlas punched him. Custodes, when Limbo is in his rift, walking through them, then the rifts, the Emperor steals the corpse right in their face while they can't stop him. Tenno have kill rates of dozens of Marines per second. I think Warframe is far stronger than a Space Marine with what the former can do, because meteors do shit to shatter, lift up sandstorms. Warframe versus Dragon Ball characters will be neck to neck. I should also mention one thing. Apparently it doesn't matter because Amir confirms that in game, all the franchises are just one form of media. Imagine saying this when Atlas can punch a planet in half. Space Marines would go extinct. It not even get to fight. The game's lore is awesome, but Warframe scale higher. You don't know enough about Warframe, then if you say things like that, honestly, don't ever go up by the frame's abilities. Look at the armor we carry. We're giving literally handheld nuke launchers and acid bombs, dimensional bows. No, like generally, no. Take Atlas, for example. Everyone's just saying he just punched a meteor. Warframe isn't anything on its own. They're controlled by Tenno, and guess what? The Tenno can take over an inanimate object. A Tenno just takes over the Marine's armor and blows it up. And Warframes like Mag or Vault would blow up any armor. There's utterly no way the Warframe doesn't eviscerate a Space Marine 10 times out of 10. A company would win, though. What frame, though? I can see most of them wiping out any number, like Saren. I heard she basically cleared the earth of the infection. Hell, I'd say she might destroy the orcs and their spores, but there's frames like Sight who would probably be overwhelmed. I honestly think that some Warframes, like for example, Uriel, Mag, or Baruch, can annihilate a bunch of Marines without too much issues. Some Warframes can absolutely delete companies. Others would be a 50-50. Counterpoint, Grendel. The company, after watching their captain turn into a red mist after a magical girl hits the gritty next to them. Da-da-da-da! Gamers really are autistic. Hey, I need to find it. Here's your tweet. Autistic people will play one of these and base their whole personality on it. There you go. There you go, Seesaw. Warframe's on the list of autistic gamers. There it is. I literally thought when you said that, I was like, I know a tweet that I reposted. Abso-fucking-lutely. If you don't know Warframe lore very well, sure. But a Space Marine only scales to maybe the strength of Kuva Bombard. Warframes mop the floor of them. How many times are Space Marines incompetent as hell in 40k lore? That's what I thought. The Tenno almost have no inconsistencies. They're wiping the floor of a company 9 times out of 10. What do you think the Grenier are based on? Defunct Space Marines. I get it, but nah. You probably need a psyker that knows what they're looking at first to do anything meaningful to most Warframes. And that's not including the violent void child that can blast them as well. My dumbass forgot about psychers or librarians. Give me a company of gray knights or custodians and you could possibly banish these void spawn. I fully believe certain Warframes can even beat Emperor solo because of their ridiculous BS, like Limbo trapping him in the rift forever with no way out because Limbo is the only gate in and out, and you can't stop him because he does it because he'll be in his rift on the way to the Emperor. Can we have Uriel get captured by a squad of Imperial Guardsmen still? These are great. This is a great time. This is how I want to spend going into the new year, is just reading random shit, just seeing people argue about a video game. And it's pretty wholesome, to be honest. Like, it's not like anyone's not being hateful. Not gonna lie, the Operator Drifter would probably beat the brakes of the Emperor. Limbo could kill him. Everyone's so Grendel, Limbo, and Atlas are your contenders for beating the shit out of 40k. Maybe when a company was 10k Marines. The only way Warframes are losing is if it's Space Marines just destroy the planet and get lucky. The humble and killable Limbo hopping into his nuh-uh, can't touch me rift when they try to destroy the planet. Absolutely no one reads to the end. The humble Archwing or Railjack or Orbiter. One Mag would probably kill an entire chapter. Mag doesn't even need things to be magnetic. She can just make their own bones magnetic and explode by them increasing their attracting, repelling force and magnetism between these bones. I'd bet money on Limbo. Okay, okay. So Limbo is soloing everyone. Just, it's funny. Limbo is like one of the most hated Warframes when you play it in game, but outside of the game, everyone's like, yo, Limbo, fuck 40K. You bitches ain't nothing. We got Limbo, the hero we don't like, but we're gonna use as a prop to defend why Warframe would kick your favorite franchise's ass. Limbo, the unwanted child. It's just too fucking funny. Oh no, I think every Warframe slams the verse. Maybe 1,000 companies all fall asleep because destroying them got boring. Warframes are ridiculously overpowered, man. Atlas, again, everyone's talking about Atlas, Grendel, and Limbo. The company of Space Marines, when they see only a small Alpha Plus Psyker appear besides the Warframe and say, okay, Grendel, vor them. So there's this guy named Grendel and this other guy named Revenant. Oh, hey, Revenant has been Limbo. You can't touch him, but he can touch you. Even if you can touch him, he just freezes time. I love this. Like, this is great. I love this. And then let's see. There was another, the argument continues on, right? I'm going to get weird side-eyed, but this allowed me to introduce you to something. Grendel, base fucking Grendel. A combo of Saren and Valkyr and Limbo could wipe out. Yeah. A company of Space Marines would be like Mars extermination mission and not even still path. No, sorry, just no, they would not. One who opens a portal to the sun, the other manipulates matter on a molecular level. Yep. I forgot about Wisp. God curse the internet. Eventually it'll go down if unhealed, but an Excalibur can and will destroy multiple chapters of the East. Saren herself could very well be a virus bomb with her powers. Excalibur was just shown to survive an orbital deployment with no protection and is unscathed. Yay, base Warframe can parry bullets and even lasers of ease. Uriel can nuke a Space Marine. Have you played Warframe? It's a naked power fantasy where the challenge is going to getting the drop you want. Killing your foes and surviving isn't an issue. No, the challenge is building good fucking fashion. A Space Marine is roughly equal to slightly stronger Grenier Cannoneer, from what I gathered, with a Dreadnought being closer to a Necromech and a Primarch probably being a level 5 Lich without the immortality BS. None of these are particularly challenging enemies in Warframe. Not happening. Rhino stomps are so hard he stops time. Grendel biting. Absolutely not. Goss allegedly stripped an atmosphere of a moon off a moon through running speed, and in the latest quest, your character gets so mad they quite literally jump off a planet to kill one guy specifically. Yeah. May I introduce you to the sheer power of Mag? So Equinox can just desecrate your bones. Literally every non-Space Marine, once they see a Mesa Prime with no primary weapon equipped. All right. A singular Warframe is Primarch tier at absolute minimum. Many of them are well above that. An entire company of Space Marines when Wisp opens a portal to the fucking sun. God, I love this. I always love it when 40K fans stumble into the insane power fantasy that is Warframe. Either you have no idea what Warframe is or you're a fake 40K fan. I don't know what we're looking at. Nezha being mentioned with a strong primer and slash weapon unironically decimates everything. I get the vision, but Warframes are stupidly overpowered. Stupidly. Yeah. All right, so do we... Okay. Let's keep going back. All right. Oh, where's this argument? I love this. Started an entire other fucking argument. All right, so Warframe would get folded. Depends. Goss would shed one piece with speed and a good melee, while Mag or Loki would be folded like lawn chairs. Mag would fold them like an empty can. Loki would be able to confuse them with decoys, disarm them with his 4, then would shred them with a gun while they're in chaos. Must be MR1. There was no must be armor rule, and there is still none. By the way, always said it can be done as soon as they hit level 10. I was saying that you are probably an MR1. Wait, you're saying someone else is MR1 when you said Mag can literally can literally magnetize bones and doesn't control magnets, but instead controls all magnetic force, would get beaten by a space marine. Mag can magnetize bone and crush said bone with their mind. That Mag? You know exactly just how augmented a space marine is. Oh, now we're getting spicy. We're starting to get the spicy arguments. Oh, baby. You know, the Tenno, which were quite small group, managed to delete an empire with insane technology on a short period of time. The second a Warframe lands on Earth, Empire would be cooked. The Lotus would have you run 5 Kufa Fortress level key missions on Terra, and you destabilize the Imperium. Then you do it 5 more times because you didn't get the blueprint you wanted. And then you do the same every other 4K faction to bounce things out. That won't matter when their armor caves in on them. And it's very important to note that the armor not being magnetic is not an issue for her. Atlas one-tapped an asteroid that would have destroyed the Earth, by the way. As said before, the asteroid didn't fight back. The asteroid didn't fight back, so it's not a feat. Do you think the building level Astia has the same durability as that asteroid the size of one of the large American states? Astras are defo capable to an NRL APC and level soaking damage and struggling off attacks, kind of like this thing. That thing we can one tap with the right gun or rip apart with claws. Protoframes one shot these things in 1999 with swords. That's true. We have like these things in Warframe. I know. And that serial inch of armor and redundant systems better than we can do now. Put Marines at the level of tank and you need the right gun, not just any gun, but you're going to take a chapter per mission unless the special units like Sykes can do something. As frankly, I think Blast a Warden and a sacrificial chapter is how to stop a Tenno. I think they could maybe stop a Warframe, but a Tenno would require nothing short of a Primarch with the whole true immortality thing and void reality erasing powers. As much as I love 40k and Space Marines, they are not winning against any frame. Entire conversation just ended Brachacho. Maybe against Loki and Banshee, but both of their kits are poorly aged. Even Loki did get a little facelift. Banshee most notably because she doesn't even stand up well in Warframe. I should mention that Marcus Vance is a massive Warhammer fan. Okay, interesting. So that's why they're starting the conversation with detail. There's a lot of metal in and on a Marine to be magnetized. Like, try it this way. Could Magneto defeat a Marine? As Mag has a similar but weaker power set, a Magneto can flip the Earth's magnetic field and bring down asteroids. But like, this is his child ability as a kid. As a fan of both, I can tell you that a Space Marine could not defeat a Tenno. Perhaps an experienced Psychic could stand up against them, but a simple Marine could not. Do you have any idea how insanely powered Warframes and Tenno are? Tier 4 with 2 wounds. To me, Space Marine are like the Necromech level in Warframe world since mods are canon and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the Warframe is not losing this conversation. Yeah, do you know how little that matters in this matchup? Anyway, so we have them. Please tell me what a Space Marine can do against this delightful woman who controls the very concept of magnetism. You tired of having bones that aren't magnetized? She can fix that for you. And that's on top of all the standard Warframe stuff, like being fast enough to parry bullets from multiple people firing bullets. Let's see. That's cool. How's it going to parry an 8-foot-tall behemoth trying to cosplay the Hulk that casually tears down his building using nothing but his bare hands? Oh, I love this conversation. I mean, depending on the ability of said standard Warframe, it can parry its attack that they get damaged if they attack the main host. The Grineer and Warframe universe are genetically modified soldiers on par with Space Marines. I don't know about that. Is that true? I don't know. At TP, the Marines are literally fooder indifferent to the Grineer. Chroma can adapt to whatever gets thrown at him and is considered the strongest. Atlas can destroy an apocalypse-sized meteor and has been implied to destroy planets by punching it. Wukon is Wukon. Yeah. Wukon is Wukon based. Nova can use antimatter. Saren is a walking stronger virus bomb. Rhino is taking that shit. It's hilarious to me how Space Marine, no, not even Rhino, but Inaros is literally just going to, you're going to punch him and shoot him, and he's just going to laugh because Inaros just doesn't die. Inaros just doesn't, even that, I would even say, Sevagoth isn't going to die, because if you kill him, all he has to do is kill, Space Marines in his ghost form and just come back to life. What an interesting conversation. I think I saw this before. Prime Grenier, Pra, or Space Marine level. Really? Prime. Oh, yeah. You're talking about like an old piece. Probably. Has she ever actually done anything else? Or is it like Magneto who can at best control the iron implants in your tooth? Her 4 power is magnetized bones and crushing them. It's not hyperbola. Comparing these two is such a silly idea. You would have to ground Warframe in the 40k universe for any of these to make sense. Mag using the warp to magnetize bones and crush them. Grey Knights could fight against this. Otherwise, this silly like Goku versus any anime protagonist. Warframe for Warframe, don't use the warp from Warhammer 40k though. Why would defense specifically for warp from Warhammer 40k work against them? It'd take like 4 years to explain it. Just look it up. No, back up what you say. What augments do Space Marines have that would let them contend with Omega level Magneto mixed with Raiden from Metal Gear? Is it Acid Spit, the second smaller heart, the ability to make a cocoon? We all know the 92 Genesee organs. Which one am I forgetting in my multiple video discussion? Which organ did I forget? There was so much said there that I immediately am going back to this post. There is so much shit that I'm just gonna post this here again. Like there's times where I think I'm autistic, but then there's moments where I realize I'm not autistic, I'm ADHD. Autism is on a different level because I did not comprehend any of that. Like I'm not part of this. Like ADHD, that's me. If you want to know if you're autistic, this is how you know. You're able to compute and stay like consistent with whatever the hell's being conversed here. I just thought you were another run-of-the-mill check. I just thought you were another run-of-the-mill check. What does that even mean? Well, I'm just going to try to, does that mean like I was just trying to bait you? Additionally, I would mention one thing about the Void Nintendo. In order to truly kill one, you must destroy nothing. I'm just low-key like, what is the final statement here? I just thought you were another run-of-the-mill check. I personally don't know. We're moving on because I don't know. But apparently this conversation's over. They finally conceded that they have no argument. Whatever it is, there's no counter argument. They dropped the ball. You don't need their Genesee or anything else from the biological end. Let's just let basic problems solve for a second. What is the maximum range of Tenno ability from Warframe? Excluding abilities like Volt, which mainly increases speed. What is Mag's max range? I get what you're going for, but Mag can deflect projectiles. They don't need to be magnetic. And even then, gameplay limits don't show up in lore. Atlas and Ash both showcase that. But if you want to include gameplay, I can guarantee Mag has more range than a tabletop bolter. Oh, wait, what the F? Didn't even look at who you are. I'm so sorry, man. No, okay. I have to click on him. YouTuber, TikTok, sword, sci-fi guy, writes about aliens and stuff, business. Would this work in real life? So he's a YouTuber. What did he see? Like this guy's back. Like, oh wait, what the? I didn't even look at who you are. So sorry, man. Guy, I don't want to be in your YouTube video, but guess what? You're in mine. You're in Peter Griffin's cosplayer video. Right. So despite numerous examples of evidence of his claims he's given to you before knowing who he is, now you agree just because he's a famous guy? Dude. Ah, you love to fucking see it. Back your shit up. Don't be a bitch. Say it with your chest, Tadra. Say it with your chest. Okay, I'm not gonna get toxic because this was a very chill, it was a very tame conversation, and I'm making it toxic. I'm sorry. Just thought you were another renewal of the check. Okay. Like, bro, I didn't know. Please don't put me in your video. I didn't know. I think if you're overspending what Warframe are capable of, AoE and by extension Mag isn't something omnipotent deity of magnetism. Her power has clear limits on how much she can manipulate at once. Asteras fight psychers with similar levels on a fairly regular basis. Ooh, I don't know what these are. This isn't related to Warframe part of the argument, but it looks like the psyker would have won if they just okay. Where are these clear limits you speak of? The one limit she has is range, which is even then seems to be smaller than it should be for gameplay purposes based on the intro cinematic. Well, for starters, AoE's brain exploded when she tried to hold the control rods in the reactor with brute force. AoE is not Mag. That scene was a worse version of Mag using her powers without the control of a Tenno. Once Drifter is allowed to assist, her brain does not explode. Drifter helped by reminding her that she could break the mechanism instead of trying to hold the control rods using brute force. She couldn't use brute force because her strength isn't infinite, which is my point. But you're making your point by using a nerfed alternate of an actual frame. These are proto frames. They're not the actual Warframes. You're talking about 1999. Those are proto frames. Those are alternates. They're not the one for one like actual Warframe. So unpiloted frame, proto frame is weaker than the Tenno and Operator together, demonstrated by how many unpiloted ones we've beaten throughout the entire game. Also, the best example of this is Umbra, another sweaty who thinks his universe is stronger no matter what. I think for Warframe, Space Marines are on more or less equal footing. Oh, so you think Warframes are stronger than Warframes? Twitter, the only place where articulate sentences will still get misinterpreted. You say I like pancakes and someone says, so you hate waffles? No, bitch, that's a whole different sentence. I think that is pretty funny. I thought this was a fun little video. Let's see what you guys, we've talked about this enough. Let me know in the comments down below, especially you 40K fans out there. Who do you think is going to win? I think, I don't know much about 40K. I don't. I know there's some really strong enemies there. I've seen some of the magic cards. Like they do have a Warframe 40K set. Like, let me know what you think. I thought this was just funny. It was good. It was good hearted. Like it was just it reminded me of the good old, well, Halo's better than Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty is better than Halo. And this is why, like, it reminded me of those moments. And it was kind of funny to see this. And nothing was overly toxic. No one was hateful. Except for me, I was being an asshole to this guy, but it's still kind of funny. Like, just like, hey, you know, don't back down just because you find out that there are some kind of YouTuber. Say it with your chest, own it. Ooh, big dog, own it. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Have yourself a good new year. Huzzah!